In the past, understanding the housing market was kind of like a 1 plus 1 equals 2. Now, today, as of March 1st, 2023, the housing market around the whole United States with little micro issues is like 1 plus 1 equals 18. Welcome in, everybody, to another episode of the Real Estate Minute Show. All right, there's a few things that normally we look at with the housing market, and I'm sure you're aware of it if you've bought or sold a house before. One is interest rates. Okay, we understand interest rates over the last 12 months have pretty much doubled from 3 to 3.5 to about 6.5 to almost teetering up to 7. And side note, the Feds are meeting again in 2 to 3 weeks, and they are still terrified about inflation, ratcheting up interest rates, which is really one of the only tools the federal government has not fixed all the problems with inflation. You could see it. Go to the market. Go see gas. I mean, you see it still there. It's still present. We're getting used to it, which actually pisses me off, and I don't like getting used to inflation. But so my feeling is they're going to increase rates again because they really have no other dial to turn. But putting that aside for a second, there's interest rates. That's a huge factor in what the price or what the inventory of homes are to buy that you're interested in. The second, obviously, is the pricing of the home. And the third is inventory. How many houses are available to buy? Now, if you have less inventory and more buyers, okay, we would call that a seller's market. And the sellers can ask whatever they want for the house, and there'll be multiple bids because there's so many buyers for it. That's what was going on in 2021, 2022 for half the year, and then it changed, okay? Interest rates. If interest rates go up, what do you think happens? Like it's been going on now. Well, it's supposed to make housing prices dramatically reduce. And they have slightly, 5 to 10% maximum. Some areas are still increasing their pricing, depending on the area, demand, and industry, etc. So that is kind of at a whack a little bit. And then the inventory. So we see when interest rates go up, people and sellers typically, start to get a little nervous and say, I missed the bandwagon, let's sell now. And we are seeing the opposite of that. We are seeing a further reduction in inventory. And here's a statistic for you. And it's kind of a 6-year window here, so forgive me for that, but it's dramatic. So the entire housing inventory for sale, that means houses for sale in the United States, as of July of 2016, there were 1,463,000 homes that were for sale in the United States for July of 2016. In January of 2023, just as a comparison, guess what it is? Is it 1,000,001? Do you think it's off maybe a few 100,000? Is it 1,000,002? No. 623,000 homes are for sale in January of 2023 compared to 1,463,000 in July of 2016. Less than half of the inventory is gone. And what do you think adds more inventory? Well, sometimes that build new houses, right? But the housing starts are always off and on and off and on. We are so behind in the United States on the inventory to house our population that you see cities and smaller, bigger cities starting to increase density. That's why you start seeing apartments over retail, things like that. Drop in the bucket, though. So we have an inventory issue where inventory is less than half of what it normally is. And you have interest rates that are sky high, twice of what they were last year. And we still are seeing homes that are selling for nice high prices. And when I say nice high prices, I'm comparing it to before 2021 when things just went up 30, 40%. They're selling for very dramatic prices, and we're not seeing a complete dump off, plunge, bubble burst in the market. And I don't think we will. We might see a little bit of a reduction, but the market's kind of baked in these interest rates that are high. They kind of baked in the lack of inventory, and they're willing to pay still for these numbers that they're seeing in the market. So hope that wasn't confusing. It's just a few weird numbers in this market. 1 plus 1's not equal 2. Some of the normal economics of supply and demand are just way off. But I'm comfortable living in a world where 1 plus 1 equals 18, and it'll slowly maybe come back to equaling 2 at some point. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next week on the show.